Prospector generators are arithmetically the best way to speculate in the exploration business, according to Rick Rule. So why does the model work? Kincora Copper pivoted to the hybrid prospector model in 2024. The company says that it has 5 partnerships to date with over $100 million in third-party asset-level investment. Over the past year, Kincora is up 171%. Sam Spring is the Executive Director, President, and CEO. Sam, welcome to Mining Stock Daily.
Thank you, Michael, for having us on.
Now, you did adopt the hybrid model a while ago. Explain why it is mathematically superior.
I think there's a couple of aspects to it, and I think it's driven by the technical enhancement of working with a partner, and it's not just capital that partner brings. In a number of the deals that we've done, it's either existing large-scale mining companies or it's new generation tech explorers, and they're bringing capacity. That means that you're in a scenario where, from a technical perspective, it's sort of a 1 + 1 = 3 type scenario. But also, I think it also enables more shots on goal, more projects. So I think you've got a better technical probability of success, but you've also got the ability to leverage that by having more projects being moved forward than you would under a traditional typical explorer model.
Now, before this conversation, we were talking about, I think it was kind of the genesis was the AngloGold Ashanti deal. Talk about the mechanics of that deal, for instance, because I believe they're up in Nevertire right now. So what do they spend? And if they spend so much, what does that mean in terms of your stake?
Yeah, that's right. And within this northern part of the Macquarie Arc in central west New South Wales, AngloGold Ashanti is quite active. They've got an earn-in deal with a CSE-listed company called Inflection Resources, and they've done a deal also with us. And for our deal, it's 2 earn-ins, where cumulatively AngloGold Ashanti could spend $100 million Australian before Kincora has to fund. For that, they can earn up to 80% over certain stages and milestones. That's 5 different licenses across 100K north-south strike. And what you're really looking for there is the northern extension of the Macquarie Arc, and that's a real new province scale. Just to put that into perspective with another well-known porphyry district, say Vicuña, that's twice the strike of Vicuña. So within this area, you've had AngloGold either through Inflection or through Kincora that's invested over $20 million to date, proving the concept that the Macquarie Arc continues under this cover up to the north.
Now, you are sole funding Condobolin, which yourself. So can you, 1, 2, 3. Now, Sam, you're sole funding Condobolin. Why did you decide to go alone on that versus partner out?
Yeah, and maybe putting Kincora's portfolio into perspective, we've got 8 different projects. One is porphyry projects in Mongolia. Then you've got Condobolin, which sits in the southern Cobar Basin, and then the rest of our projects are Macquarie Arc porphyry projects. Condobolin being a southern Cobar project, the time and capital needs to advance that we feel is different to the rest of the portfolio, and that's where we're comfortable sole funding this drilling campaign that we've just kicked off. Condobolin is a historical mining field that we've consolidated, where mining and exploration activities were previously impacted by the weathering profile and the water table. It's now easy exploration by modern standards, and there was a really good discovery made over a decade ago that just hasn't been followed up. And where you look at the Condobolin project, it sits within trucking distance to an existing mill that is seeking third-party ore. So the profile for how a junior can add value to that project is very different to your big time and capital-intensive porphyry projects. So that's where we're really excited to have started drilling this week at Condobolin.
Let's talk about Martigla. You had a discovery hole 4 meters at 20 grams per ton gold, 75 meters depth. Your current program is testing down dip and along strike, but you've also flagged a deeper intrusion. What's success look like here?
Yeah, and this is the first drilling campaign at Martigla for over a decade. What we see in these Cobar projects is they're generally vertically extensive, and they can be repeat like lens stack systems. And we think that Meritilga plus a whole host of the other historical mines and other targets across the Condobolin mining field have been cooked up and effectively driven by an underlying porphyry system. So what we're trying to do with this initial 8-hole program at Condobolin at Meritilga target is confirm our hypotheses that this system continues to depth, has repeat systems, and then there's also some really compelling coincident geochemical and geophysical targets that have never been drilled. So it's a really a proof of concept program looking to increase the scale of that Meritilga system. And I guess if we're successful, look at subsequent follow-ups, both at Meritilga, other prospects, and the deeper porphyry target as well.
You did mention Mongolia at the top. That would be Bronze Fox. That's an existing copper oxide resource. Are you in discussions right now for potential partnership with that one? And where are you going in terms of unlocking value there?
Yeah, no, we are, Michael. And I guess at the moment we're fixing a historical tax dispute. But in the meantime, getting a second mining license. There's 2 adjacent licenses. One's an existing mining license. The other is an exploration license. And you've got 3 large intrusions, one of which, the Bronze Fox intrusive complex, has a JORC resource, as you touched on, an oxide project that at current commodity prices probably looks very attractive. And that second mining license, because the deposit goes over the license boundary, really unlocks that potential. So Kincora's focus is New South Wales. We're looking at different means to unlock the value that we think is inherent in a very large and attractive porphyry project up in Mongolia, noting Xanadu Mines' acquisition last year, Xanadu being listed on the TSX and ASX. That was a very attractive peer group valuation for our Bronze Fox project, and also obviously Rio Tinto's big copper growth project, Oyu Tolgoi, is going to shortly be one of the world's biggest copper mines for multiple generations. So in terms of geological prospectivity, the size of the prize up there is very significant. We're trying to find a way to unlock value for our shareholders.
You must see a lot of projects. Is there some way of, in terms of actually, are you trying to keep the company exposed to mostly copper? Is there projects that will come to you and, it might be a really good metal, but it would be something that would be outside of copper?
We're certainly focused on copper gold, and we're very lucky in New South Wales, whether it's in the Cobar or the Macquarie Arc, that they generally are gold rich copper systems. The Cobar style also has a bit more of a flavour with lead, zinc and silver, and we're expecting to see that at the Meritilga target. But in terms of looking at other opportunities, like we've already got 8 assets in the portfolio, and we've got different strategies for each one of those 8, whether it's corporate or whether it's drilling or early stage geophysics or the like, working those projects up. But we also are looking at further new opportunities, and you might have picked up too, Michael, just in the last 24 hours, we announced a deal with geomorphic AI that really will help us with the existing projects that we've got, but also screening new project opportunities as well.
Yeah, because you do mention, I do want to get to geomorphic, but just talking about partners, who are they right now at this point? Are they traditional majors? Because I thought I saw some other companies that looked quite interesting, I guess, more downstream or more technical, if that's right. I don't want to say that's not the right word, but how would you say? Explain it for me, Sam.
Yeah, no, you're right. And we've obviously got the 2 earnings with AngloGold Ashanti, your more traditional miner that is earning into the Northern Junior Narromine Belt project. We've also got a partnership with Fleet Space, Atom Ionics, as you picked up, geomorphic AI. We've previously worked with Earth AI as well. And those latter groups are these new generation private tech explorers. And it's fascinating how the industry is changing and how technology is changing with it, in terms of being able to pull together complex data sets, integrate them, focus on the things that really matter, have that feedback loop where you've got strong geological oversight from the right human intelligence, which really can help drive a more efficient and systematic exploration, and also picking up new projects. It's amazing how many sort of prizes are sitting in the data that this new AI can pick up.
Talk about that right now, because you do have projects in the past that you've kind of moved forward through, I guess, probably the manual process that's exploration. How is AI sitting beside it right now? And then how are you using it?
Yeah, and whether it's sort of AI means so many different things and has so many different concepts to different groups. Whether it's sort of using Fleet Space, which we've got a partnership for, where they're bringing a different application to existing exploration methods and integrating it more efficiently and quickly in their exploration capture and interpretation, or whether that's atom ionics with quantum-based ground gravity, which I think in sort of the medium term will become industry standard, but at the moment it's really cutting edge, or whether it is with geomorphic AI, with their proprietary AI system. All these things have one common trait of being able to take a huge amount of data, which is really complex and time consuming for the traditional exploration industry, and synthesizing it, making it more efficient. And again, it's only as good as the people involved and how you harness that and have that feedback loop. And I think that's really the future of the way the industry is going, in terms of being able to expedite exploration and make new discoveries.
There's a lot of companies that we hear that are in the AI space, Sam. So, but are these usually companies that are going to be smaller? They're going to be specialized. Do they have to have a large investment, or is it just that they have to have a large brain trust that is actually coming in? So, for doing these things.
Yeah, and it's the same even with the traditional sort of mining companies that we're speaking to. Each relationship and each partnership is really tailored for the specific project and what that skill set that they bring is, and what the capital is that they bring in. It's not a cookie cutter approach. So I guess each one of those, and again, the prospect generator model, one of the difficulties is pulling together a portfolio of projects and synthesizing what's the main investment thesis and what should investors focus on. But each of these projects that we've got partners for, effectively our shareholders have material exposure for, and I guess we're bringing the right partners, we think, to take the project from A to B and add value.
You have you announced on your deck that you have $7 million in cash. You have 8 active projects. You're up in Mongolia. Are you going to be able to move all of these projects forward with that funding? And when might you have to do a fundraise again?
Yeah, no, we're in really good shape. And as you sort of touched on, we changed to a hybrid prospect generator model in late 2024, and that was a catalyst then for Rick Rule, Jeff Phillips to come in as investors. But since we've had that pivot in funding model, we've had over $9 million of partner funding. We've had over 18,000 metres of partner drilling across 7 different licenses that our shareholders have had exposure. So the majority of what our cash burn is at the project level, funded by these technical partners. What we're now doing with the $7 million of treasury is in a very focused way, looking at how do we add value across some of our 100% owned projects. And as we've sort of discussed, that includes focused drilling at our Condobolin project, where we think that's something that is scalable and something that we, with a relatively short amount of capital and time, can add significant value to. And ultimately, there's a natural partner for where that ore would probably go through an existing mill that's within trucking distance. For these other projects that we retain 100% of, we are now having funding to be able to advance them. We're not looking to go out and do 10, 20, 30,000 metres of drilling ourselves. We're very much looking at this prospect generator model where we add value, then look to bring in a partner. And say, for example, Michael, one of the reasons why we pivoted to this model was we put over $10 million of our shareholder capital into an advanced project called Trundle, which we think is the rifted off part of the North Parkes igneous complex. And North Parkes is Australia's second biggest porphyry mine. Trundle, we have got the capital to do some field work, provide proof of concept, but really we want to bring in a partner on favourable terms, the same sort of deal structure as AngloGold Ashanti with the management fees, staged earnings, to come in and do that next heavy lifting, because that's a big project. It's attracted majors in the past. And that's what we're looking to do with Trundle, with Fairholme. Our Cowal East project are all brownfield settings with hallmarks of the neighbouring world-class mines. And geomorphic AI coming in and doing some reviews in synergies with an existing geological review will, again, help add value to those assets. But as you say, it's hard when you've got a portfolio of 8 projects. What's the key catalyst for investors to be keeping an immediate eye on?
There are a number of other prospector generators out there, Sam. Beyond, I guess, the quality of the assets that they're moving forward or that they've partnered on. How does an investor actually make a decision about those, or how do they actually compare them? Do they kind of look at the deals that are in, or is there some other secret sauce in terms of actually kind of comparing these?
Yeah, I think the deals are obviously a key in trying to work out how many projects are being advanced, how much partner funding, what the deal structure is. But one of the key differentiators within our industry, when you've got thousands of explorers out there, is people. I think it really comes down to technical teams. And one mantra that you'll hear from Jeff Phillips will be structure. One thing that we did when Rick and Jeff became involved with us was do a share consolidation and really make sure that we had a tight structure so that any of these 8 projects have material upside. We can see how the share price will re-rate. So we've got less than 48 million shares outstanding. We've got, between reporting insiders and Rick and Jeff's network, who came in with 12-month locked up stock, there's only 45% free float. So it's very aligned in terms of structure at the shareholder level, structure in terms of the corporate number of shares outstanding, but most importantly, the technical team, because we're at the exploration stage. We've got Peter Leam and John Holliday, who are serial successful with large copper gold systems like what we're looking for, and they've got skin in the game and strong alignment. So I think, again, how do you look at Kincora? Well, you can do all your peer group valuation metrics, but ultimately, what is the fundamental driver? It's making a big discovery, and it's the people and the track record and alignment that those people have.
Lastly, Sam, during a recent webinar, you said, quote, that the natural nature of the prospector model is probably have an exit if you get to something that fits a major's profile. Is this a place where you're taking Kincora?
Oh, absolutely. And you look at the Macquarie Arc and the Cobar district in central west New South Wales, where we're focused. You've had in the Cobar region Harmony come in and buy Mac Copper for 1.6 billion for the CSA mine. In the Macquarie Arc, you've had Newmont take out Newcrest for the flagship asset Cadia. You've had North Parks being acquired by Evolution. You've seen a significant amount of deals from majors partnering with juniors. There's a lot of corporate activity. And what, besides the jurisdictional profile that this region appeals for and the existing infrastructures, the scale of the prize. If you're looking for something that could be 10, 20 million ounces gold equivalent resource inventory, then this is the right sort of terrain. And if you are having partners that are coming in and you've are successful finding what you're looking for, the reality with most of these prospect generator deal structures is that the major will want as much of the project as possible, and that's probably where you would expect a liquidity event to come in due course. And I guess a really good current day example of where could that valuation take you is AMARC Resources in the Golden Triangle. AMARC's got Freeport as a partner for a very good discovery that they've made. It's pre-resource, and that until recently was a plus 300 million market cap. And that's obviously just one project. So yeah, it's a fascinating business model. There's a number of case studies that we've got in an updated corporate deck that's just gone up on our website this week, and always happy to sort of walk through with your audience in terms of how we sort of think about value and peer groups in our strategy.
Sam, thanks for speaking with Mining Stock Daily and bringing it home to British Columbia, where I'm based.
Well, thank you, Michael, for the opportunity. It's always good to provide an update.
The information presented should not be considered investment advice. Mining Stock Daily and its affiliates are not responsible for any loss arising from any investment decision in connection with the material presented herein. Please do your own research or speak with a licensed financial representative before making any investment decisions.